Hello, thank you for joining me, Kate May, Modern Day Mystic, on my YouTube channel. I was asked the question on my group yesterday, how do you connect for mediumship? So we had a big chat about it today, and I thought I'd redo the video so other people can hear it if they want to hear it. For me, and this is going to be different for everybody, you know, you have to find your own style, I feel, and your own way of doing things. But what works best for me in how to connect with mediumship is sitting in the power. Is a massive thing for me. And sitting in the power for me is just literally sitting. I'm not going on any meditation journeys. I'm just sitting in my energy. I'm connecting to my guide, and I'm just keeping that energy still, and going on my own journey with it, but in a still space there. For me, it's like your mind is a muscle. The mediumship mind part is the muscle, and you know, you go to the gym to exercise, so therefore why would you not exercise this muscle? You're pinging yourself back every time that you're trying to stay in the power and you find yourself drifting. You'll ping yourself back. So it's like, oh, I need to do the shops, I need to do this. Ping yourself back. And the more you do that, the more that you ping yourself back, the more stronger that's going to be able to hold. And then you can hold the link a lot stronger and a lot longer as well. So for me, we talk about a lot of raising our vibrations and opening and closing. And I'm talking to you now, so just as I'm talking to you now, I've already started to open up. I haven't needed to go through all these chakras there. It's a nice thing to do when you're learning at the beginning. It's lovely to connect to different chakras and open yourself up in that way. But I believe that it's all about energy, it's all about vibration. And as you just get into talking about it and you set that mind intention, you know, I'm going to be blending with the spirit world. Therefore, your energy starts to rise, your vibration starts to rise. And for me, the spirit world, they work at a fast vibration anyway, so they need to lower theirs, we need to raise ours, so that we can kind of meet in the middle there and blend the energies together there. So as I'm talking and raising my vibration, they will be acknowledging that and like, oh, there's a green light, let's come down, so to speak, and then their energy will be slowing down to come and blend. So for me, that's how it's done there on a loose scale. Lots of people have asked, how do you know the difference between your mind and spirit, if it's a spirit message? If you have to ask, it's probably your own mind to begin with, I think. There's a distinct difference, really. It comes from somewhere different. It comes from an unknown source, or you just know that isn't your words, your interpretation then. And that you have to be super honest with yourself about. If you think about a question and then you think of an answer, just do it. Think of a question. What am I going to have for tea? Eggs on toast. Think of an answer. Think of a question. And again, think of another question. What am I going to do tomorrow? No, I was going to have a day off. Let that happen in your mind several times, and you'll get used to your own thoughts. Now then, when you sit in the silence and you sit in the power and you think of a question, if you're used to your own, then you'll know the difference of when you get something from spirit there. So for me, that's quite a good little exercise there, is to, okay, that's how I think. Oh, this is not how I think. And you just know, but it's about being honest. I do see in here, you hear a lot of people saying, oh, spirit made me do this, spirit made me do that. And I think probably a lot of the time it's ourselves, our own energy, that makes us do that. But it's easy to say spirit, and I'm not sure it always is there. What I do see a lot, and it's sad really, is a lot of people who are really good, you know, they come to the circles and the classes and they do 6 weeks, 6 months, really, really good. They're picking up some great things. Then they decide to go off and work, which is fine, absolutely, that's their choice. But how amazing would they be if they stayed and developed over years and years? When I first started, I wasn't born into this at all. I just had an interest in it. And I wasn't a born natural medium without, you know, not at all. Psychic, probably not medium. I could pick up a few things. I would sit at the circles and people would be coming up with amazing stories of when they were a little child. They saw this, they had this imaginary friend, they saw that. Nothing. I never got any of that. They would give messages out to each other in the circle. I never got that. But I stayed going. I enjoyed it. I liked getting the messages anyway. But I had some issues going on in my personal life. So for me, it was just a nice getaway place. And I enjoyed it. And I stayed going for a good 5 years before I actually got anything. I probably was in my early 30s when I started to pick up energy and get my little messages, or have the confidence to be able to pass them on. And I think I was pregnant around the time, and that's when I really started awakening and opening up. And I'm a number 9 numerology, so I want to ask every question. So I would go to groups, and literally I've got one of my teachers to put on a Q&A morning for me, because, or for a few of us, because I just had so many questions I was constantly asking in the class. Why this? Why that? The mechanics of mediumship interested me so much more than just being able to give a message. As much as it's lovely to be able to give a message, it was how did it work? What's the mechanics of it? What's your faculties? What's this? What's that? Using all the different clairs there. So just coming back to how do you blend in with spirit then, I think once you understand lots of different mechanics, lots of different ways of doing it, that can help you as well. So research it, speak to different teachers. One of the books I always recommend to my students is Gordon Smith, The Unbelievable Truth. It just cuts the crap out of all the la-di-da stuff, and it really does bring it back down to earth. It's a fantastic book. I've had some amazing tutors and teachers over the years. Mavis Patilla, a friend, but also very, very, one of the best teachers there. Did her mentorship last year. Her knowledge is phenomenal. If you can watch her on YouTube, recommend it. Gordon Smith, another one, fantastic teacher. They work very, very similar. Billy Cook, another one I would recommend following him. There's some amazing ones out there that have got some good information, grounded information. Tony Stockwell. And what I do sort of worry about is the older generation. We're going to be up in up this Swanee, I think, if the younger ones don't start realising that things take time, and it's not a 5-minute win, and there's a lot more than just banging out a message here or there. So the things we were talking about in the group was, how do you know the difference between your mind and how do you know when it's spirit? And I've just hopefully explained that there, that it's quite, although it's a subtle difference, it is a difference. And if you're not sure, it's probably your own mind. It just comes from different source, different vibe. Where we spoke about the energy when you're giving a reading for the client or the audience there, congregation there, and you can really feel that energy. When you have spirit around you, you can feel it, they can feel it, and that's the point. You want to be able to feel it. You don't want it to be flat, and you know that if you're being sort of fobbed off with stuff, the energy's not there. So energy, feeling and sensing that energy, getting the goosebumps is super important, I think. There. So raising your vibration, you don't have to do all your opening your chakras. If that's what you want to do, absolutely fine, but you don't have to do it. Just talking about it, anything that's exciting you, that is raising your vibration there, and that's going to help with the blend. And it can be quite subtle there. We spoke about different guides, and I'm not one to, I think very, very occasionally I've been aware of somebody's guide when I'm doing a reading. It's not something I'm massively into. I think it's important that you find out your own guide. For a long, long time, I thought I had a man around me, a masculine energy around me. And 4 different occasions, 4 different people said to me, we see a geisha girl around you. I sat with a group for a trance night, and they said that I had this transfiguration of a geisha girl. I didn't really take much notice of it the first time. Second time, a different group, same thing happened. They said the same. I was like, oh, that's interesting. The other group said that. Didn't really pay much attention. I then went on somewhere else. I think I had a reading, and they said, are you aware your guide is geisha? I said, oh, yeah, I've been told that, but I didn't acknowledge it. Then I went to the Arthur Findlay College in Stansted, had a reading there on their open day, and a medium said to me, are you aware that your guide is a geisha girl? And I was like, okay, that's 4 people now, different people. Maybe I should start paying attention, because that's a bit, Native Americans and monks, that's quite common. But for me, I was like, that's interesting. So, but I still couldn't connect to her, still couldn't feel. And they said she's very, very subtle. So the masculine energy that I have around me, which I believe to be is my friend that passed, many years ago, who again has been confirmed many times that is guiding me and helping me there. He won't be my main guide, but I do feel he is a helper there, if you like. But I have felt her twice now. Once in this lockdown, I've been able to do more sitting in the power. So I have felt her come close then. She's very subtle and comes in. I haven't quite grasped to be able to hold her yet. She comes in super quick and goes out super quick. That's all I can explain it. Haven't practiced working with her strong enough at all. And the other time was I had some healing from my friend Penny Dimmick, amazing healer in gospel. I've had lots of healing from lots of people. John Bonest is another one of my favourites. But I don't really I haven't felt anything. People have like, oh, this amazing Reiki person. I'm like, okay, I'll lay on the couch. And it's just not done anything. I've just like, for whatever reason. But Penny, wow, I was absolutely, for me, everybody's going to work differently with different energies, but for me, Penny really did work some magic there. And I wasn't even thinking about this geisha girl, and she just whoosh came right in, just all around, beautiful. And then I also had this feeling of this image of what I perceived to be Archangel Michael. Didn't say anything when I came out of it. Penny said, are you aware of Archangel Michael? And it felt like there was another guide with you. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, absolutely. So I was really, really chuffed with that. But it won't be the same experience for everyone. You have to go through your own. The amount of times when I've gone to somebody because someone had a great reading and then it's turned out not to be for me, or vice versa. I've had an amazing one, they've gone and it's not. It's going to be different for your own, for each and every one of you, which is why sitting in the power and why developing your own mediumship is so important, and getting little bits from different tutors, different pieces, places, and putting the pieces together yourself, I think is really, really important. Some people, it can be confusing, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you can have information overload, and what that medium tells you, you then get told something different by that medium and something different by that medium, and they all conflict each other. So when you get that, for me, what I've done is then I've sat in the power and I've gone right in and felt, right, okay, this feels right for me. I'm going to take that bit, and I've worked my way through it. So I think that's really, really important to find your own part with it. So when you've got that spirit communication with you, you might find, especially at the beginning, that you do drop into your psyche a little bit, into the psychic part, especially if you're like me and when you use cards. So if I'm working with a one-to-one client, I'm using cards. The session's going to be 30 to 40 minutes. I'm not going to be hold that mediumship link purely for that length of time. So I will go into the cards, I will come back out, I'll use my psychic, I will come back out. And I'm aware of when I'm using my psychic and when I'm using the mediumship. So I feel it's, for me, really important that I let the client know, okay, I'm working mediumship now, or, now I'm just talking about psychic things. So I think you don't have to tell your client, but you definitely, I feel, you have to be honest with yourself. And, they know upstairs that they know that if you're fobbing them off, if you're psychic working and then you're fobbing them off with saying that, I've got your grandma telling me all this, when you go over the other side and see grandma, So I think it's really, really important to be truthful and use your integrity there. So once you've expanded your energy, you've got our energy fields around us. So while we're raising our vibrations, it's important that you put yourself out to the spirit world as well. You can't just sit there and wait for them to come to you and just think, well, I'm ready, where are you? You have to do the bit of the work yourself. I think you have to meet in the middle with them. So as well as raising your vibrations, and some people will want to do that using their chakras, won't they? They'll want to open up everything. That's the way they used to. Fine. I've learnt over the years different techniques, and one of them is just to sit for a few minutes in the power, building that energy up in myself, getting excited for it, and using your aura around yourself to expand as far as it will go. And that, to me, is giving the spirit world the green light to say, yeah, come on, we're ready. I know some people have a white light that goes all the way through them. Again, you've really got to find your own way of doing it, and different teachers will tell you different things, but it's trial and error with lots of things there. So once you've expanded your energy and you've opened yourself up, then when the spirit, and this is what I've learned over the years, I'm a fine one to talk with this. When the spirit world come close to you, I'm absolutely fine on a one-to-one. Get me on a platform, and although I'm getting better, I have to say, I've been going to our local church, so I've had a bit more practice recently. and it is getting easier. But the minute you start fearing that doubt that, oh my God, I can't do this, then they're going to say, uh-oh, she don't want to, because your aura shrinks all of a sudden. The energy's gone down. So they're on their way. Oh, look, we've got a nice light beacon of light here. Fluff, 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 come on down. Then all of a sudden we like brick it and shut down, and then they're left, oh, what do we do? What do we do? We're going to have to go back. So you've lost it before you even got it. So having that confidence and trust, 100% trusting that as you're opening yourself up, as you're expanding your energies, as you're allowing them to come forward and you're wanting them to come forward and you're wanting to be able to give this message and being excited about this, then they can come forward. There's no doubt at all that you're going to be trusting. They'll blend with you nicely. So when you step up ready to work, or when you start to do your readings there, and I can already feel, you just feel this energy that's building around yourself. It's so lovely and warm and just lovely that you just then crack on with it. But if you have that seed of doubt, then you will it will stop it or slow it down, you know, and the messages that you get might be a little bit thick and fast, a few in between, because they're kind of giving you these impressions of things, and then if you're doubting it or you're letting your conscious mind go in, it's going to mix it up. So we spoke about today, we gave an example, and I forget what the example is now, but an example would be, say if I was to say to somebody, okay, I've got this, I can see a car, they're showing me an image of a car. In my clairvoyance, I've got this image of a car. Rather than just saying to this person, I've got this car, my mind then might turn it into, you're going to be getting a new car because I've just seen this car, so I know you're going to be getting a new car, and this is all going to be coming up for you in the next week. And they can be like, not too sure. Or I might say, you've got a new car. They're showing me a car. It's nice and shiny. And they might be like, not too sure. So I'm going to get a no on that. Whereas if I was just say, I've got this car, and they go, yeah, actually, my car broke down, or this happened to my car today, you're going to get a yes. Because then you would end up saying, would you understand what this, would you understand why I'm being shown a car, as opposed to, I've got a car and then I'm going to make up the story. Does that make sense? So try not to, like, literally catchphrase, say it as you see it. Try not to put your own spin on it. Literally give off what you see at the beginning. Once you've built up the trust with spirit, once you've built up your confidence, then you will be able to know that what they're giving you that car is for. You're not just sort of working, getting your own mind involved with it. Then you're working with the spirit 100% there. So I feel that at the beginning with people, and we were talking about this today, just give off what you see. It doesn't matter that you don't put the pieces together. Let the client put the pieces together. It's not your business anyway. Let the client put the pieces together, and then you'll get your confidence, and then over time you'll be able to bring those pieces together yourself later on. And I'm trying to remember the other things that we spoke about this morning on the mediumship chat that we were having there, and I think it's I can't remember all of it. One of the things I did share from there was some own personal experiences. Some, when you see lots of people, you don't always remember everything. I get a lot of clients coming up to me saying to me, do you remember when you said this? Do you remember that? No, sorry, I don't even remember yesterday. But there are a few, particularly for me, the ones that right at the beginning that will always stick with me. It blew my mind away, to be honest. That's why it's always going to stick with me. And just odd special ones, it's going to stick with me. And actually, I was wondering what it was going to feel like. And now I've had a couple of clients that have passed, or their relatives have passed with the COVID-19. And that it's got a slightly different vibe to that. And my conscious mind is definitely, is this what I think it is? So I wondered when that was going to happen, and I've had two already with that. But I remember years and years ago, and we are talking years ago, and I went to see a lady, and her son had died in a crash, and what he was showing me was a tattoo on her wrist, and then I saw a sleeve being lifted, and a watch on another wrist. So I said to her, would you understand? I've just been shown a tattoo on a wrist, and literally as I said that, I saw another arm being pulled up and a watch. But I was so super new then, so I wasn't really confident at all saying that. But it was so clear in my mind. So, and with that, she rolled her sleeve up and she had her son's name tattooed on her wrist. And then she pulled her other sleeve up and she was wearing his watch. So that is a story, you know, that's something that I'm always going to sit with me, because I was so wowed over with it, because it was one of the first communications that I ever had. I stayed in contact with them for a few more years, and gradually the energy changed, and it was almost like he'd settled a bit more, the family had settled a bit more, and it wasn't as close. It's a weird feeling, but yeah, you know, many years later there. So that was basically really what I wanted to share with you. How would you connect to mediumship? For me, it's about sitting in the power. It's about understanding about energy, your own energy. For me, I used to want to know who my guide was, what colour, what hair they had, what their name was, what they looked like. And I've realised over the years it doesn't really matter. It's the feeling of it that's important there. And I probably wasted a lot of time trying to suss it out and getting wrong information by all accounts. And now things are just different. What I want to experience is just different there. Learn to sit in the power. Tony Stockwell does an amazing sitting in the power meditation. I will do one myself one day. But the music that he's chosen for it, he's got for it, is just lush. So I've been doing a lot of that during the lockdown and really having some great experiences. It's not very long. I think it's only 10 minutes, but you can extend that if you want. So sitting in the power, very different to meditation when you go on these lovely long journeys or visual journeys. Just sitting in your own energy, raising your energy enough just to allow the spirit world to come close, so you can just feel it and just sit in that. And don't do anything with it. It's not about the messages to begin with. It's just about feeling that energy and just knowing. You don't have to tell everybody, just being honest with yourself and just knowing there's a different vibe around me now, and just sitting with it and working with it. And then it will fade, then it will go, the energy will drop, the power will drop, and that's okay. You'll come back to it another time, and you might be able to hold it for longer. It's a fantastic time to ask all your own questions and find out really what's going on for you deep. And if you see something as a symbol, that's when you want to be asking, what did you show me that for? One thing that I did share with the group that another friend of mine had shared, and I know she won't mind me sharing, that she was given a daffodil during a service there, and she said, could anyone take a daffodil? No. Could anyone take March? No. April? No. Springtime? No. Okay. Or whoever she was talking to. No, that didn't match. So that was that. She then went into a post office or somewhere and saw the Marie Curie box with the daffodil on. So she said, aha, that's my cancer sign. So the next time, she saw the vision again, would you understand this person passing a cancer? Yes. So they will give you symbols sometimes. Wouldn't it be much easier if they just told us? But it works like that for some it doesn't. And you'll have to find out your own reasons there. But the symbols that they give you, sitting in the power, that's your great time to be able to understand, well, what did that mean? What did this mean? Where did I go right here? Where did I go wrong there? So I think it's, even if not in spiritual land, even at the end of your own day, just to sit in your power and just to look over, reflect over the day and think, did I do good then? Was that okay? Not to be too critical, but just to be like, how could I have maybe cope with that situation a bit better? And that's how we're going to grow. And you'll feel your own answers in there. You'll feel your own answers. So just, give it a go anyway there. But I wanted to share that with you. So in a nutshell, I would say raising the vibration, raising your energy and letting them come very close to you, asking them to come close. Belief, trust, you're perfectly safe. I'm not a big one of bad spirits. I'm not into all of that. I think if you want to create that image for yourself, you're going to create that image for yourself. Myself, I think the protection side of it comes from the living rather than the dead. And I think just put that little bubble of protection around yourself if you want to keep your energy safe. And if you have got some people around you that you're not too comfortable with, maybe use it for that. But I'm not a big fan of it really. I think if you know that you're naturally protected and no safeguard, you don't need to. Similar in a way that you don't need to open up all your chakras, because you just know that you're going to raise your vibration that way. But I do think it's an important part of the whole journey at some point there. Once you feel that energy, you just know I'm connected. And however long that lasts is going to be part of your journey and part of your development and your discipline. Your discipline is going to be super important. If you want to be one of these people, which is absolutely fine for those that do. Short bit of learning, get out there, be bitty, give your little bits to your people. Some people are very happy with that, fine. Me personally, I like blood when I go for a reading. I want them to give me everything. I don't want bits and pieces here. If I'm sitting for someone or going for a reading with somebody, I want a little bit more. And that's the type of medium that I try and be as well when I read for people, as much as I can. And I'm still learning. I'm still sitting. I'm still learning. I'm still signing up to different mentorships and working with different mediums, because I don't feel that I know everything that there is to know. I think that we can all learn, and I love to be able to share it with everybody, not just on this channel, but also the people that come and sit in the circles and come to my shop at the Mystic River Lounge, to be able to just share experiences and help other people. When I first started this journey, this wasn't around then, so I had to do a lot of digging and literally all the Q&As that go on. And now, oh, I would have bloody loved that. I would have been on every Q&A going, asking all sorts of questions. So kind of want to be able to help people with that where I struggled. But ultimately, I think you need to go in your power, sit in your power, and find out for yourself all there. So I hope that connecting to spirit, connecting to mediumship helps a little bit, gives you some food for thought. I'm not a massive expert on everything. That's just some of the tools that I use, and some of the people around me they use, and we work it together with us as well, and it seems to blend okay. But like I said, everybody's going to be different, so whatever I'm saying, it might work for you, it might not, but give it a go. Sitting in the power, 100%, give it a go, and just feel that amazing blend when they do. And I could just waffle, but I'm not. I'm going to hold it there. Thanks for listening, everyone. Take care.